other stuff are changing. Okay, so here, if you all are connected to the same application, one version of software, everyone is connected together, and the expectations are 24, it should be 24/7 up and running with a no downtime. So what do we do in this case? So now guys, I will ask you this question. Let's say you are in agile model 2001 versus the software development, and you all are software engineers, and that is true actually, you all are software engineers. So what you will do? Where do you run software now? So you should plan for running the software in containers. Now, what is a containers? You need to learn. What is the setup time in a container? 1 second. Yes, I mean it. You want to run one application, 1 second. You want to run thousands of applications, not 1,000 seconds, 1 second only. How? That is where you have to run Kubernetes. Are you understanding what you have to learn? Containers, you have to learn Docker. Setup time, you have to learn Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform. Are you all getting an idea?
Yes.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. Now, how you are using the application? App-based. How do you delivering? Through store. You want to install application? Go to App Store like Play Store or Apple Store. I'm not a iOS, I mean Apple user, so I cannot comment on that. You guys know better. Okay. So how much release cycle? Can you imagine? 1 hour. It can be lesser than that. So many of you will start fighting. Rajesh, how can you say 1 hour release cycle? That means you are saying planning, coding, building, testing, and deployment. Everything should be done in the 1 hour. How can it be possible? It's possible. Change the architecture of the software from service-oriented architecture. Change that to the microservices. 100 features, 100 functions. You don't need to deploy everything, you don't need to test everything, you don't need to build everything, you don't need to code everything. There's one service problem, only you work on that. And how many code you have in the each services? Maximum 500 lines of code, not a million lines of code in the software. One microservices has a problem, we'll do the release in 1 hour. We'll build it, we'll test it, we'll code, build, test, and deploy all this thing through the L number of tools which I'll teach you through the microservices. So you have to change that, right? You can't expect everything with a different old mindset, old model, old tool set. You have to change many things. Correct now? So then people started saying that, okay, fine. Then what we call this model? What we call it? A model where we can improve the quality of the software than earlier, where we can reduce the cost of the software, development cost and running cost, the process in which we will change the architecture. By the way, we have to change the team also. So earlier in a monolithic, every teams were separate, dev team separate, architect team separate, QA team separate, operations team separate. In the agile model, dev team and QA team start working together. Operation team were separate. In the 2020s, we have to combine it. Everyone. That means architect team, dev team, QA team, and operations team. All of you have to work together as a team, not a 4 team, but one team. So what we call it, this model? What we call it? So any idea what we call it?
DevOps.
That is called DevOps. So what is a DevOps? What is a DevOps? What is the objective of DevOps? Okay. So DevOps is a concept. Mind it, please hear me out. It's not a tool. Many people say DevOps is a tool. No, it's not a tool. Many people, it's all marketing gimmick actually. Everyone now, you talk to 500 software development companies with 500 development 500 product for managing the software development. Everyone is saying, hey, we are supporting DevOps tool. No, DevOps is a concept. DevOps is a process. DevOps is changing your mindset. DevOps is changing your culture within your software engineering team. Then you say, what process, what culture, what mindset? So the mindset is like this. Earlier in Agile, Dev and plus QA were working together and we used to call agile team. In the DevOps, can a dev plus QA and operations can work together, share the responsibility? Is it possible? That's a mindset change. You have to change your mindset. Are you ready to change your mindset? And are you ready to work with as a one team? And that's called DevOps team. Have a development initiative owned by owning the development initiative, testing initiative, and production initiative. Everything you are owning. Then that's a mindset change. That's a cultural change in your organization. That is called DevOps. Then you'll say, okay, in order to do that, we have to work on the objective like a quality release, immediate release, cost reduction. So how we will do that? Then that's where the lots of tools are there. So tools like containerization, Ansible, Terraform, Git, Jenkins for CI/CD, Terraform infrastructure coding, and all stuff like that. Then those tools are coming. But before that, you have to change your mindset and culture within your team and yourself, right? Correct, no? All of you?
Yes.
So that's the DevOps. So in order to practice the DevOps, you have to practice. We have to find out the answers. What is container? What is microservices? What is DevOps? What is a CI/CD? What is SRE? What is a DevSecOps? And these are the questions which I'm going to help you to answer it. Okay. So what to do? What to do?
No, I'm reading
So
it.
yeah. Any questions, guys? So now organization want this one. See, this is the objective for organization, your company. Why everyone is talking about the why every company is talking about the DevOps? The reason is very simple. They want to improve the quality, release, immediate release, and cost reduction. Simple. Every time this was the objective for the organization. Now, when they want this one, this is the challenge. When you look at your team, then there is a dev team, there's an architect team. Team, mind it, there is one objective, one product, but multiple team. So dev team, QA team, operations team, this team, that team. So many teams, many mindset, many culture, many processes, many practices, many tool sets, and these all are people are fighting with each other. That's the problem. That's a challenge for the organization. So what do they should I mean what they should do so they can integrate everyone, integrate in everyone. So there's a multiple team we want to integrate into one. There's a multiple tool we want to integrate with everything. There is a multiple culture and mindset we want to integrate. There's a multiple processes, multiple practices, multiple SDLC phases and all. We want to integrate. I'm not saying I want to wipe it out. I'm saying integrate effectively. How can we do that? How can we do that? That's where then everyone is coining. The whole world is talking about. Hey, let's do one thing. We have a multiple teams. You have a multiple teams. You have a multiple tools. You have a multiple phases, multiple processes, multiple practices, multiple mindset, multiple culture, merge it together and integrate together and bring the DevOps approach. That's model which helps you to integrate everything to achieve the organization objective. That's called DevOps. So look at this here from waterfall to
Psalm
agile,
5.
agile to the DevOps,
Psalm 5.
DevOps, and you have a DevOps which include development initiative plus or operation
We
initiative.
have a lot of.
Are you understanding, guys? All of you?
Yes, that is doing good.
Yeah. So think simple, guys. DevOps is not something out of the world. It's there
You know,
because
your
of
students
some
can learn 17 and
yes,
21.
yes,
But
some no
this in correct
some
order. Have to do that, okay?
yes, some noise is coming
We'll
from
do it.
Tofik, I'm muting you. Yeah. So DevOps is something which we have coined the new terminology. Why? Because we are inheriting the properties, just like you inherit your properties from your parents, right? So same way, software organization also inherited certain properties. What properties? The old tool, old concept, old processes, old method, old mindset. Engineers, like some of you, you'll say, let's say you are in a QA team. Okay, this is the I'm just giving you simple example. Let's say you are in a QA team, and your manager will come to you and say, "Hey, can you become a developer?" And you said, no, I've been working as a QA people from last 20 years. I don't want to become a developer. That is a mindset problem what every organization is facing. Suddenly development team is there, and then we manager will go to the developers and say, hey, can you do the testing plus operations also? Development team will say no. That's a problem. That why no? Why is saying no? Because he has inherited the practices from last 20 years or 15 years or 10 years, and he has he has set the mindset saying that he's a developer, he will not do anything more than that whole life. That's a mindset problem, because they don't want to change the mindset. Culture within a team is not changing. That is a problem. To change that mindset, to change the culture, to improve the integration between the teams, so you have one goal rather than multiple goal, and you have one team rather than multiple team, we have to implement the DevOps. And that's the reason every team is focusing on the DevOps. Every team means every organization, and that's the reason you want to become a DevOps engineer. Why? Because organization demand the mind people with the right mindset, right culture, right skill set. Because if you say you are a DevOps, that means you know the part of the development also, you know part of the testing also, and you know the part of the operations also. But if I say we need a developer, then only he is knowing only the development initiative. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a mindset problem, guys. It's a culture change in your
Mm.
organization. Okay, so I'll just skip some of the stuff. Huh. This is a slides, and which I always use it. So many people say, Rajesh, what I'm supposed to do? See, what you are supposed to do in your project, that I don't know. Okay, because if you join a project, you'll have a certain responsibility which you will get to know after the joining. So how can I tell you which what you'll be doing, what is the roles you'll be performing? Okay, I'll tell you, I have joined as a software engineer and I did the auditing work. I joined as a software engineer and I did the coding work. I don't know, after joining only the project will tell you what you are supposed to do. But in this session, all of you must set your mindset. And the mindset is something very simple. I am coding for the function of the software. Are you scared? All of you? From the coding?
I haven't done coding before, so it's something new. Okay.
Yeah. So if you are getting scared, don't need to be. No need to be scared. I'll put it in this way. I said very simple line. I am coding for the function of the software. I did not say write the full software. Function. So software, you have function, hundreds of function, and each function, the spelling mistake, please ignore it while typing it. So each function we call it a microservices. Microservices. Now this microservices, the lines of code, one microservices, one function is equal to one microservices. And how many lines of code you have? 500 lines of code. Only 500 lines of code. I'm just giving you visualization. Now you tell me one thing. What do you call yourself? Software engineer. software engineer